Yo, what you saying? Welcome back to ISOJ. Hey, as I said before, the playoffs are here, so we're locking in. And I'm going to do what every great YouTuber does and just react to all these game ones from the first day of the playoffs. And I know there isn't much to say in some cases, and in others, there's a lot to say. So let's go through them. Game one, first game of the day, 6 p.m. start. Beautiful time for me. The Bucks versus the Pacers. I follow a lot. I didn't know this until now, but I follow a lot of Bucks fans on like TikTok and Instagram, and everyone's telling me, oh, Bucks are winning this series, they're sweeping this series. The Bucks seem to have a bit of a problem. Even their best defensive schemes cannot stop the Pacers. Tyrese Halliburton shot awfully from the field. I don't know his exact numbers, but I think he was like 0 of something from 3. Did not have a great night. It felt like everything was going the way of the Pacers. It felt like they had an answer for everything the Bucks gave them on defense, and then just could outmuscle their way on offense. Pascal Siakam looks great here again. Miles Turner, well, okay. That little step back 3, I saw that. Aaron Nesmith played great. Andrew Nembhard played great. Benedict Mathurin is actually like giving a damn about defense, which is something I didn't really have him pegged for. I didn't think Benedict Mathurin was like that on defense, and I'm wrong. So there, I do think when Dame comes back, I don't know if this team will be better. I think defensively they still have some problems, and I don't think that changes with Dame there. I think it gets worse, if anything. So I'm still leaning towards Pacers winning this series, but I don't know how easy it might be. On to the next game of the night. The New York Knicks face off against the Detroit Pistons. I was a bit worried this whole time. The first 3 quarters, I was a bit worried for New York, because it didn't seem like Jalen Brunson was really in there. Cat was doing great. In that third quarter, Cat was like 7 and 9 from the field. And I was like, damn, we need to get the ball to Cat more often. Jalen Duren was like quickly in foul trouble. Asar Thompson was also in foul trouble. I think Isaiah Stewart also was, but I think Isaiah Stewart isn't necessarily like surprising. You know, for the guy who's known for this picture, I don't think it's surprising that he is in foul trouble. But as I said before, this really shows the inexperience of this Pistons team. The best performing player for the Pistons was Tobias Harris. You kind of squandered a 25-point game from one of your role players, and that's like, games like this can be difference makers in the playoffs. You need to be able to win when your role players are going off for this much, because there's no guarantee that Tobias Harris is going to do this next game. You know, Tobias Harris averages 13 points on a season. He had 17 in the first half. You know, I don't think you're going to get that again for them. So the collapse from the Pistons really, it didn't look good. You had Asar Thompson make some big rookie mistakes, you know, not finishing the dunk, and some of his quick fouls or his turnovers that weren't great. Jalen Brunson looked like he tweaked his ankles, but then he got out of the Kobe Grinches and then came back in something else. So, hey, I guess he's fine. I think those are the Christmas Kobe 8s. I'm not entirely sure. So maybe that was just a good omen for him. Josh Hart was doing Josh Hart things. After a while, this game descended into just fast breaks. And it felt like the Pistons for a while couldn't get into a rhythm. It just felt like, okay, we just got to run the floor. We got to play. We got to do everything we can do. But it didn't feel like there was anyone there that was like, guys, slow down, run the play. We can do this. This is how you get an easy bucket. And I think it's times like this where you need that veteran leadership to say, all right, guys, calm down. Let's get a bucket. Let's sort this out. We need to keep level-headed. And I feel like the Pistons got too far ahead of themselves. You know, I think the inexperience showed, and it didn't look great in that fourth quarter because the Knicks just ran away with it. I think that was a 21-0 run. I don't think I've ever seen a 21-0 run like that. You don't get runs like that often. So good win for the Knicks. We'll see if Detroit can bounce back. I hope they do, because I kind of want, I think it would be a bit of a sour season if they just get swept in the first round. Like, I get, you know, we made it back to the playoffs. We're here now. You got to at least get a win. So I hope the Pistons can figure something out here. I hope they can get at least a win under them to make them feel like, yeah, no, we did it. We're ready. We can go forward with this one playoff win or 2 playoff wins and build onto that next year. The next series, where was I? Did I miss a game? It was Bucks Pacers. Who was the second game? The Clippers Nuggets. I forgot about this one completely. This was a tough one. I like Jamal Murray really showing up in that last quarter, because I think that's who we know Jamal Murray is a playoff riser. Like, he is a guy who in the playoffs ups his game, And for a second, I was like, oh, the Clippers might be in trouble. Again, this is an example of not wasting great performances from your role players, because goddamn, Russell Westbrook giveth and taketh like that. I can't click with this hand. The corner three, great, beautiful. And then I think the next play, they start off with a Jamal Murray and Jokic. I don't know if it's a DHO or anything like that. And the ball stays with Jokic. And he can see two men in front of him, and they're sagging off Russ at the three-point line. He looks towards Russ and thinks, pass it back to Jamal Murray. Jamal Murray then throws the ball to Russ. Problem number one, I guess. It was cool to see that, I always forget the coach's name, David Edelman, decided to bench MPJ. Wasn't playing that great in this game, and that's fair. Decided to bench him and said, we're going with Russ for the rest of this one. And it gave him a lot of different looks for the lineup. The offensive rebounding by Russ, it felt like the Clippers could not get a rebound for a lot of this game. And it was tough. It seems like both of these LA teams have a problem here. I also think it's because when you run like a Derrick Jones Jr. or Kawhi Leonard at your power forward position, you don't really have a second rebounder. When you have teams, I don't want to say Denver is a double big lineup, because Aaron Gordon isn't actually that much of a big man, but he's uber athletic. This is a dunk contest winner. He can jump out the gym. So it's hard to contest those offensive rebounds or defensive rebounds in the case of the Clippers. It gets a bit shaky. And there's a couple times where the Nuggets just got so many possessions after they would just get rebound after rebound. And it just felt like there's nothing the Clippers can do to stop this onslaught. Because for a lot of the offense, Zubac is following Jokic out of the paint. So you are forced to have a Kawhi Leonard, Derrick Jones Jr., Ben Simmons even type get the rebounds, and I just don't think they have it in them to compete with someone like Russ, who ran center for the Rockets because he can get rebounds pretty well. Someone like Aaron Gordon, who again hyper athletic, right? So that was a big problem for the Clippers that I saw. Also the Lakers. LA is tough to do. The offensive rebounding is not great in LA. The game did go into overtime after the Nuggets trailed heavy. I think they were down 15 in the first half, slowly chipped it away, did really well at coming back into this game. And I think the home games are going to be really important. I think there's just something in that Denver air, and I think it's the lack of oxygen. It feels like they were a bit gassed. Kawhi Leonard makes a really, really bad mistake at the end, gets the ball poked away by Jamal Murray, and just rolls off his hip. That's it. Okay, cool. I guess we don't have a shot here. They go on to have to defend to keep their lead or keep the game tied. I forget which one. There was a lot of basketball to watch last night. Tough loss for the Clippers, because I think there was a point where they thought, oh, we're taking this home. You're up 15. All right, cool. Just ride the wave all the way to the end. And it didn't happen. The best player in the world is very much the best player in the world for a reason. And this team is incredibly clutch, because at the core of it, you have a guy in Nikola Jokic who can get a 65% shot pretty easily. Like, he's a 65% shooter in that 0 to 7 foot radius. And it's simple for him. It's light work. He can do that. It's one of those things that outside of Zubac, it's hard to defend. Yes, you look at the on and off minutes without Nikola Jokic. You got to match those minutes with Zubac. He's got to work. So yeah, I think that one's a tough one. And well, I guess let's stay talking about LA, because the Timberwolves went up against the Lakers last night in a game that first things first. I was watching WrestleMania 41. I forgot about him completely in my preview video. And in watching WrestleMania 41, I remembered about him. And if you are watching too, you know exactly who I'm talking about. It's Nas Reed. For some reason, I feel like this guy always has the Nas Reed sign in the crowd. I don't get it. Maybe it's just he's a Timberwolves fan and they just love Nas Reed. But like, it's just a sign. It's not even a sign. It's like a towel. It's like a flag size thing that just says Nas Reed. Thanks for the reminder. I appreciate it. But why? If there's anyone out there who can answer this question, I'd really appreciate it. Anyway, my biggest fear for the Lakers was the fact that they can't rebound the ball at all. And it started off great for them. Luka Doncic went on kind of a crazy run on his own, having 17 points in that first quarter. It looked good. It looked great. And then it slowed down, because I think as the game progressed, the Timberwolves kind of locked in. Julius Randle had 7 turnovers this game. You lost by this much. I don't remember the final score because I tuned out. It was the main event of WrestleMania. They were down by like 20. I saw Alex Len. I saw Bronny in the game. I thought, can't be asked. Not for me. So, yeah, I tuned out of that one early. Either way, the offensive rebounding was tough. It felt like they weren't getting aboard. It felt like they slowed down the Lakers quite a lot just by doing that. LeBron James didn't have a great night. I think he was 8 for 18. So, I mean, it's a good night for most players. It's not great if you're LeBron James and the second best player on the Lakers. Luka Doncic, 37 points, 8 rebounds, but the big thing was 1 assist. I think I'd have to look up the numbers for this, but I know the assist numbers for this series, or for this game rather, were real bad for the Lakers. I think it was something like under 15 assists total versus like 29. And that's a sign. And look, on this channel, I get it. The name is ISOJHoops. It's all about isolation jumpers. I get it. I know it. But not in the NBA, man. What the Lakers wanted to do was rely on that isolation, that Luka Doncic isolation that has worked for so many teams in the past. And they were like, okay, we know how we beat the Timberwolves last year. This guy did it. And by we, I mean Luka Doncic. He knows how he beats the Timberwolves. The problem is, as I said in that video, you beat the Timberwolves with the Mavericks. You didn't beat them with this Lakers team. This Lakers team has some shortcomings. They don't have the size that's available. And man, it seems like it doesn't matter if Luka Doncic can score 30, 40 points. They stopped him pretty well. I think Austin Reeves had a bit of a slow start and he needed to get going sooner in this game for it to really mean something. Because he was getting points early in the third and he was scoring, but it just seemed like it was a bit too late. You're already in the hole. I don't think the improved Austin Reeves is coming in to save you here. So I still go with all of my predictions for each of these series, and hopefully we'll do another one of these tomorrow. And I hate the fact that I'm so late because I'm in the UK and I need to sleep. Like, I can't shoot a video at 4 a.m. I just don't have it in me. But yeah, I still stick with my predictions. I still think that, it is just one game and everything here is just an overreaction. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the Pistons beat the Knicks. Maybe the Pacers lose to the Bucks. Who knows? But what I do know is I will be back here tomorrow doing the exact damn same thing. This is my Groundhog Day. The NBA playoffs are my Groundhog Day, especially this first set of games. Like this first round, I'm here every day, I guess. But yeah, if you made it this far, thank you for watching. I really appreciate the love on the last video. I hit 100 views in like a day, which never really happens here. So thank you for that. Love to see you all. Subscription goes a long way. If you like the video, go ahead and give it a like. I did my outro out of order. Anyway, I've fumbled it now. I hope you have a good day. I hope you have a great Easter. Happy 420 for those who celebrate it. Have a good one. Stay safe. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. I'm watching you. Have a good one. Bye-bye now.